Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is the syllabus for physics. Okay, I'm Mr. Manning. Welcome. I'm really excited that you chose to take this class. I know it's going to be a little bit different than normal, but it's still going to be a lot of fun, and we're still going to be able to do a lot of interesting stuff this year. Okay, so this is physics. This is going to be a really exciting class because I personally think it's the science that is the easiest to experiment with and the easiest to understand because your body is actually hardwired to understand physics and use it. All right, and we're going to see that throughout the year that indeed is the case as we kind of go through labs and go through some of the rules that we have to follow in physics. Okay, now most of you are juniors or seniors, so this class is kind of designed to give you a lot more freedom and a lot more kind of your self-responsibility here. So a lot of the learning is going to be kind of dictated by how much effort, how much work you put in. All right, this class is kind of related a lot to the more you put in, the more you can get out from it. So I'm going to make it much more on your responsibility to come find me if you have questions. If you're kind of not understanding something, I'm going to do my best to ask questions in class to kind of see, but especially this year where it's not as easy for me to kind of see face to face what's going on in the different groups we're going to have, you need to come find me during office hours, maybe after school, or shoot me an email just for clarification. Okay, I'm always happy to answer questions, even if it's something like a video you saw on TikTok or Reddit and some crazy physics thing that's happening. Please don't send me any TikTok or Snapchat or Reddit videos that are not appropriate for school. All right, so let's just make sure we're using our common sense. But I'm happy to answer any questions. I love trying to figure out what wacky things are going on and kind of explain if actually what's happening is possible. Okay. Now, course description. Just kind of talks a little bit about what this class is about. Basically, this class is very useful for us because we do not have an SOL, which means that we have a lot of freedom in this class. So usually we focus a lot we start with a lot of things, motion and what causes motion and how we can change the motion of objects. All right, and we're going to find out that actually is a really big question actually that relates to a ton of different topics. So we're going to kind of focus on that for the first semester. But we're going to find out is that this course is usually focused around several different projects where we actually take what we learn and we use them to build something or come up with something or explore something kind of a bit more extensive detail. Usually in the past, we've done things like an egg drop project where we've dropped it from various different heights, where we ended up dropping our projects off the football stadium. It could be something where we're building a big roller coaster, talking a little bit about how it loses energy in places or why it's slowing down or why it might be flying off the track. There's a lot of different things we're going to try this year. What's really awesome as well is that because we have so much flexibility, if there's something that y'all are really interested in that you'd like to talk about, there is every reason in the world we can do that as long as it's something that is physics related. Okay, so please make sure you let me know what you guys are interested in. Make sure you're constantly telling me maybe if you found something strange or something that doesn't make sense. Let's talk about it in class because that's the best way we can explore physics. All right. Now, I've also added a little pandemic addendum. There is, of course, things going on besides our control right now. What's most important about this year is that communication is going to be super critical. So I know y'all have you have 7 courses. You get 6 other courses besides me. They're all online, and that can be really overwhelming for anyone. All right. Even if you're always online and you're used to this sort of situation, this sort of environment, it can just be a lot to kind of process going through all this. So I just want you to make sure that y'all know that you can always talk to me and send me, contact me and let me know if you're feeling overwhelmed. If there's something coming up in another class that's just taking up all of your bandwidth, taking up all kind of your attention, please let me know because I'm more than happy to kind of adjust what we're doing or adjust the workload in order to ensure that you guys aren't being crushed by this class. I don't want this class to be the only thing that y'all are working on. Okay, I know you have a bunch of other ones. I want you to focus on that. All right. Now, materials, really, all you need is a laptop. You're going to need a laptop, so it's either your Chromebook or you're going to need some sort of MacBook or, whatever laptop you use. Do not recommend using a phone. Okay, it's going to be really difficult to use all the stuff that we have, so you're going to need to use one of those 3 things, please. 3 reminder and pencils, that would be much more important if we were in class. Not going to be that useful if you're doing everything on your computer. Expectations, pretty much the same expectations I would have even if you were in the classroom right now. Make sure you show up to class on time, please. You really don't have any excuse because you're just you're doing it from your laptop, so you should be able to get here on time pretty easily. Make sure you bring all required materials, which just means you have your laptop available and it's charged, preferably. Um, Respect your peers, bring their attitude, and do your best. Those are all kind of related. Basically, when we're online, we need to make sure that we are, respecting each other, ensuring that everyone feels like they belong. Everyone feels like they can they can openly make mistakes in class, and we're not going to just like completely ridicule them. Okay, because that's not how science works. This year, we're going to make a ton of mistakes because we're going to be trying new things and seeing what works and what doesn't. My favorite thing in the world is to try and break something and see what it can handle, what it can't handle. I've been trying it with Zoom all week. All right, so we want to make sure that we are, we're just being smart about it, and we're using the language, and we're kind of using actions that we know aren't going to exclude people, aren't going to make people feel like they don't belong here, or just kind of discounting the experience of someone else. All right, so don't act like asses, and you're going to be fine. All right. Now, there's some etiquette appropriateness from administration. You're welcome to read it. Again, just it's stuff that you understand. You guys are a digital generation, so you guys understand this. You know what it's like to be in an online setting. You know what works, what doesn't. We're not trying to turn into 4chan. Okay, so let's avoid that, please. Grading system, pretty much for us. We're not going to have too much homework in here. I'll probably assign one homework a week, and I'm not going to make it very long. It won't be like a problem set where you have like 30 questions, like you have to answer. It's not how it's going to work in here. A lot of times, homework in this class is going to look like a question where I give you some sort of physical situation. I'm going to ask you to kind of explain what's going on, or maybe you're talking about, well, this makes sense that this is happening, or it doesn't make sense that it's happening. Okay, because our main goal with this class is going to be able to kind of look around at what's going on and just tell ourselves, yeah, that makes sense that happened. Or start to be like, it's a little strange that on TikTok, this individual is flying through the air without falling or without wings or any sort of item. Okay? Now, back to grading policy. This year in all the classes, there are now 4 categories that all the grades go into. So it's kind of your grade is going to be calculated based off of those 4 categories all put together. Your midterm and final exams are worth 20%. Your independent work is worth 16%. Independent work, we'll talk about in more detail what that looks like. Homework and labs will be 28%. When I grade stuff, I just grade it off a point scale. So, it might be a labs out of 10 points. I'll just grade it out of 10 points and then put it in the category. And then projects and quizzes are worth 36%. So we'll talk about that in more detail when we get towards our first quiz or project, what that actually look like. Homework, I'm not supposed to technically call it that. It's technically a weekly mastery check, but it's homework. Which you guys know what homework is. Basically, you're gonna have homework, probably 1 or 2 homeworks every unit. So I'm not gonna do a ton because I think I want to try and do my best to kind of give you all plenty of time outside of this class to focus on other things. You're gonna be able to correct your old homework. So if you turn them in and I grade them and get them back to you, you're welcome to correct them as many times as you want to get to get full credit or whatever credit you desire to get on it. You only have a certain number of days to do that, and we'll talk about in more detail in class what that looks like. But that might be like if I assign a homework on a Monday, maybe you have 2 weeks from that Monday I assigned it to kind of turn it in, do the corrections as well, something of that nature. All right. Attendance, pretty simple. It's just like attendance for normal school. I expect you to come to class. What I'm going to do, and this is kind of for this particular class. So if you miss class for whatever reason, if you weren't able to make it, I'm going to mark you as unexcused absence in Power School. Now, what I'll need you to do is you need to fill in on Canvas. There's a Google form for attendance. All right. You need to go in and fill out that form. If you don't fill it out, I'll automatically assume it's an unexcused absence. All right. Now, what you can do on that form is that if you missed school if you missed it for some reason because that you couldn't control. So let's say your computer's just dead, it's not working, your Wi-Fi went out, there's some other thing that popped up that you just you couldn't get away from doing it. I understand, there might be family obligations, things of that nature. If it's something of that nature that is excusable, just let me know in the form. I will go in and I will change it on Power School to an excused absence. And if you go back and do the work, I'll turn it and say you were present. Okay. Now, you just need to make sure you do the work by the end of the week. That is important. All right? Now, if it's an unexcused reason, for whatever reason you just decided to miss class because you slept through it, or you just kind of decided you just didn't want to be there, that is unexcused, and it's going to be treated like an unexcused absence. So, you know the rules. You've been to school before. You know what you could and couldn't do. It's the same thing here. All right. Yeah, there's a quick little just description of live instruction versus independent work. It's pretty simple. Live instruction, you're in class. So you're on Zoom or whatever you're using for class. Independent work, it's just like something you get assigned outside. Okay? Grading scale, in case you forgot about it. There's also this Black Knight Pride. Basically, just some kind of things to remember is we're kind of we're kind of working on our online community. Just treat people like politely. Understand we're all under a lot of pressure right now. We're all under a lot of stress. It's a new situation to everybody, but it's going to be fine. Okay, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We still have a lot of things we can do with all this. All right, and we have kind of a lot of new features that we're going to get to use this year that I haven't had a chance to use. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so this is just student support. Again, if you ever have questions or you just want to talk to me, come to office hours. If you really if it's outside of office hours and you're just like, I really need to talk to you about something, just shoot me an email. We can schedule a time. All right, I'm pretty much free for most of the day. And other than that, the schedule got all messed up. But this is the schedule for the fall in case you have not seen it. All of our classes are in the afternoon. It's an odd, even block schedule. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have odd blocks. Even Tuesday, Thursday, even blocks. You got class for 45 minutes, and then 10 minutes to go to class. Office hours for all the teachers are in the morning. And then on Fridays, you'll probably have a video assigned that you'll need to watch with probably some notes to do. Now, I'll do my best. I will make sure the video is probably no longer than 15 to 20 minutes. I understand there's a ton of other things you need to do. I'm trying not to take up all your time. So it'll be some sort of guided notes to go with that and perhaps a homework as well. All right. So again, if you have any questions, please either talk to me in class, shoot me an email. It's really up to you. But I'm really excited this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're still going to get a lot of stuff done. I promise. We're still going to do a lot of experiments, have a chance to talk about some wacky things happening, and just have a chance to kind of experiment and talk a little bit about physics. Okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited to get started this year, and I will see you in class.